Hi guys, it's Peter and welcome to our channel, and today we got another Amiga video, and it's gonna be about my beloved Amiga 1200. I do have quite few Amigas, and from all of them, probably 500 and 1200 is my favorite one. This 1200 particular one, it got so many mods been done by me. Every time I doing mod or improving or upgrading, my Amiga is getting better and better. And the latest modification what is done, it's I did added internal FPU on the motherboard. Let me reposition it, my camera, and let's run it AIBB software. And pretty much I know some people are gonna say, well, there's no reason to edit co-processor on Amiga 1200. Mostly, especially if you're mostly playing Amiga games, and there's I believe like one or two game, maybe not even that much, will benefit from having FPU on board. And but for me, I just did that to see. I mean, probably because I can do it. And let's see, the beach ball usually is gonna render it. I believe it's like 1 minute 2 seconds, and now with FPU is doing 12 seconds. It's really impressive. I mean 11 12 seconds or so. And when you compare it to 300 3000 4000, of course 4000 has a 040 processor, and it's gonna be quicker. 3000 is a little bit behind what I got right now, and it's quite impressive. I mean right now, like I said, I got Terrible Fire or Tori acceleration card. In my opinion, this card is probably the best card you can get, but I always want to have FPU. My dream card, I should call, it's Blizzard 1230 Mark IV, but that card is quite expensive and way out of my limit. Pretty much I decided let's take it Terrible Fire 1230 to different level and add that FPU. But like I already said, the FPU is on a board, not on an acceleration card, because acceleration card doesn't have any sockets or any way how you can implement. Right now it's running at 40 megahertz, pretty much main processor at 50, FPU co-processor running at 40. Eventually probably it's gonna get a crystal 50 megahertz and it's gonna install it, it's gonna try it, run it, it's gonna try it, kick it all the way to 50. Well, let me reposition my camera again to my Amiga 1200, and I'm gonna show you how it looks inside. Pretty much. And this mod actually it's kind of straightforward. You don't have to be rocket scientist. Well, you have to have some experience experience and knowledge how to solder it. But yeah, I was gonna show you this mod what I did with my steel reinforcement for keyboard by cutting. It's so easy now to open it, move it a keyboard. I mean disconnected. It used to be those wires going through. Anyway, here's my Amiga 1200, and like I said, it's so many mods been done already. I got internal Pico power supply, 120 watt. It has a Scan Plus AGA scan doubler. I mean, of course, a Kickstarter 3.1.4. I like that Kickstarter. I know there's much newer one already, but I really like 3.1.4. It's a simple one. It's almost like 3.1, but with some upgrades, some improvement, and I really love it. Here's my beloved, beloved, I said. But anyway, Terrible Fire 1230. And I really like that card. It's running on a full-blown Otori Motorola 68 Otori processor, and with MMU, and also I added a couple things. It's not really necessary, but especially this one. I mean, I added on stock 14 MHz CPU O20, which with acceleration card you're not even using, but it's there. Anyway. Let's go back with adding FPU. Adding FPU actually is quite simple. Pretty much you will need socket for FPU. Then you will need FPU itself. I bought quite a few of them to make sure they will work. I mean, sometimes you get FPU and then turns the FPU is defective, so I got a couple of them. To start this guy, it's kind of difficult with that center reinforcement. Pretty much what I will recommend it, remove it before you start it. And to remove that, it's quite simple. I mean, with razor knife, you can cut those alignment pins, or you just leave it on a flat surface, like a desk or so, and push it right in the center. And pretty much like that. I mean, all those reinforcements will stay in that square part, and your socket will look really nice, professionally done, removing that centerpiece. Now, with soldering iron with really tiny tip, you can I mean, first you have to align it properly and make sure that flat spot it met where it's supposed to be on the motherboard. Don't start it different different arrangement, because the FPU has also flat corner, where the flat corner is over there, and it will go on a flat corner on a socket itself. If you screwed up alignment of your socket, that's going to be a big problem, because you not can put FPU in a different configuration. That's a lack in future flat spot. Pretty much you have to align it properly, tackle one pin first, align it, make sure it's good, and then tack second one. Like I said, even with average experience of soldering, you will be able to solder that socket no problem. Then of course, when you got socket down, if you just straightly clip it your FPU and not doing any wires mod, it will run, but it will run at stock frequency at 14 megahertz. And to increase it, to get higher speed, you will have to have different crystal. Right there's the stock one, and here's the 40 megahertz I added. Now FPU clock is not taken from original, or from stock crystal. Let me put that wire like that. It's taken pretty much from crystal wherever you is gonna decided to use it. This one is currently for 40 megahertz, and pretty much negative, positive, and very important on a FPU from this side, and the way it fits, second pin from bottom, you lift it, make sure it will not still intact with a pin on a socket. I mean, pretty much if you decided before you even started the socket, if you decided you was gonna clock it higher speed than stock, you can remove it, that second pin from socket, before even you install it. In my case, I did install it socket with pin, but then basically what I did, I lifted a pin, I tested with tester, and the pin on the chip itself, even when you bend it back, if you look at the chip how thick it is, the pin, it fits in, it going into chip right in the middle of a thickness of a chip itself, from side to side. And basically, even if you bend it up by pushing in, this pin on the socket, it will touch it, that bent pin up on the chip itself. Basically what I did, before I put the chip itself, I cut it a little plastic, high density plastic strip, like a half a millimeter or so, or millimeter, and I put it where the socket, where the chip is gonna fit into. I put the plastic shim first, and then put it a chip itself. That case, that plastic shim did push it, that pin out, towards the wall itself. Then I tested with tester, make sure it's not connected to each other. And then the crystal with double stick tape, I mean, you can use the epoxy, but I thought I was gonna use the double stick tape. It's not going anywhere. And pretty much that's what I did. Negative to negative, positive to positive, and the clock signal to this pin. To a clock, to a signal pin. And now it's running at, like I said, running at 40 megahertz. Quite happy. I know someone's gonna say probably it's a useless mod, but I did because I always want to have my Amiga with FPU, and I'm quite happy with how it works. Well, guys, pretty much that's all I got for this video. I hope it was interesting, enjoyable. If you guys did enjoy it, thumb up. If you don't want to miss any future videos, subscribe. We will be really appreciate. Thank you.